Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I've got a sunscreen review and this one is a very popular one. It is by Paula's Choice. I'll be reviewing the Super Light Daily Wrinkle Defense SPF 30. This is a 100% mineral sunscreen that is fragrance free and has some really nice ingredients in it. As usual, I'll go over all the details that you need to know, features, ingredient analysis, and then show you what it looks like on my bare skin, under makeup, and of course share with you my final thoughts. Let's go ahead and get into it. This sunscreen comes in 60 ml or 2 fluid ounces. It is available worldwide. You can get it on Sephora for $35 or on Cultbeauty for £34. It is an SPF 30 broad spectrum, so it's going to give you protection against UVA and UVB. It does use zinc oxide as its active ingredient, and it uses it at a 13%. It claims to be suitable for normal, oily, and combination skin types. It says here that it's a lightweight broad spectrum mineral sunscreen with a sheer tint that softly mattifies skin, blurs pores, and protects against visible signs of aging. Let's talk a little bit about some other notable ingredients other than zinc oxide, which is suitable for sensitive skin. We've got willow bark extract, which is a botanical skin soother that visibly calms redness. It's also got some astringent and antiseptic properties to it. The second notable ingredient in here is resveratrol. Some of you might be familiar with this ingredient because of one of the Ordinary serums. This is a potent antioxidant. It is wonderful to see it in a sunscreen formulation because antioxidants, they do help against environmental stressors that your typical active ingredient in your sunscreen doesn't really do. But this specific antioxidant is actually known for boosting sun protection, but it also fights visible signs of aging. Next up, we've got something called EGCG, which is basically the ingredient that you find in green tea. It is a fantastic antioxidant, it is anti-inflammatory, and it is anti-carcinogenic. Wonderful ingredient to have in here. I also forgot to mention that this product is 100% fragrance free, if that matters to you. It says to shake well before use. I have been using this for quite a while now, and honestly I am really enjoying it. I do find the tint on this to be quite interesting. Let me show it to you. It's not your, oops, that just squirted out. It is not your typical shade. Usually the tint is warm, but this one is quite cool toned. It has like a pinkish grayish tint, which I find to be interesting because for whatever reason, I feel like this type of a tint really masks the white cast much better than like your typical peachy tint. I'm gonna go ahead and spread it out. You can see on me, honestly, there's almost like zero cast. I can still see it a little bit there, but actually once this absorbs fully into my skin, I cannot see any cast. You will see that in a minute. It has a very nice slip when you spread it out on the skin. It feels quite moisturizing, but I think why this is geared towards maybe oily to combination skin types, it's because it has a semi-dry down finish, which I know a lot of people with oily skin look for. Let me go ahead and show you what it looks like on my bare skin. You will see it right now on video. Again, same thing, same color that I showed you. It goes onto my skin quite nicely. It really spreads really well for a mineral sunscreen. Usually mineral sunscreens tend to be a little bit thicker, so harder to spread. But with this, it's got really nice emollients in it that help it spread, and it feels quite moisturizing. At the beginning, I thought this isn't going to have a dry down finish, but later on you will see it does dry down matte. There's a little bit of a white cast, but that tends to absorb into my skin. But of course, if you are of a deeper skin tone, I would expect a little bit of a white cast from this. I was able to apply it around my eyes without any issues. It didn't seep into my eyes, it didn't irritate them. Even throughout the day, it didn't irritate my eyes at all, and that is something I really appreciate from a sunscreen. I waited a while and then I checked my skin later on. My skin was feeling semi-dry, not fully dry where I feel like my skin is going to crack when I talk, but it was dry enough where I felt like the sunscreen isn't going to move much. Then I went ahead and applied makeup on top. I would say the makeup sat quite well on top of it, but I do want to note that with any mineral sunscreen, I always go in with a beauty blender and not a brush because I do not want to disturb that film. And I always find that a beauty blender helps the foundation sits better on top of my skin. And I don't typically go in with a heavy foundation, like heavy coverage. I prefer light to medium coverage on top of a mineral sunscreen. I did have to work with it a little bit around my nose area because that area tends to be a little bit problematic with mineral sunscreens. They tend to cling onto pores and give you like a white polka dotty look under makeup. And this did give me that a little bit, but once I blended it out, it was fine. When I used it without a moisturizer, I felt that it was a little bit drying. And my skin is typically normal, but right now is definitely on the drier side. So I can definitely see why this is geared towards oily skin. You do need to moisturize under it. I do want to note that if you have dry skin, you need to use it with a moisturizer. And when I did that, my skin was okay. It didn't feel drying or anything as such. But when I didn't, it definitely felt a little bit drying, but that wasn't in the demo that you just saw. Actually, in this demo, I had moisturized my face. Let me share with you my final thoughts. I love this sunscreen. I think it has a great formulation. It glides onto the skin quite nicely. It feels really nice. The white cast is minimal. Again, I can't speak for deeper skin tones. It sits quite well under makeup. It doesn't give me any irritation around my eyes, which I really appreciate. And it is SPF 30, not 50, and it's not water resistant. For this reason, this is going to be a purely winter sunscreen for me and not a summer one. In the summer, I want something that's SPF 50 and that is water resistant. It isn't super expensive, but it's also not super affordable. It's right in the middle, which is fine for me. I also love the fact that it's got some additional beneficial ingredients in here that are going to help against skin damage in the long term. I think a lot of you with normal combination to oily skin types are really going to enjoy this. And if you're someone with dry skin, I would say if you go in with your regular moisturizing routine and then you go in with this on top, it's going to be fine. Actually, I know a lot of people with dry skin still appreciate a semi-matte finish, and this is exactly what it gives you. It's not like overly matte, it's just a semi-matte finish, whereby if you were to touch your face, you know, it's not going to feel sticky. And that is something I personally really enjoy, and I know a lot of you do. That was it for today's video. I hope you liked today's review. I hope it helped you making a better decision on your purchases. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for my future content, and I shall see you in my next one. Bye guys.